Ever wonder what it's like to build a marriage, a business, and a mission all with the same person?
We didn't meet on some stage or in some relationship bubble. We met in real life with messy emotions, messy schedule, and a shared pain about why our relationship's so hard.
And in between the all-nighter arguments and morning coffee breaks, we finally figured out something worth sharing: how to make relationships work for both people.
So today we're going to share how our story became the foundation for the work we do with individuals and couples around the globe. I like this new setup.
Okay, I think I'm ready.
It started actually when I was really young, a teen, and I had numerous people who played that role of coach that I wanted to do it. So the next logical step for me was human resources. So I went into human resources management, which I loved because in essence, I found a way to help people.
Well, I had a background in corporate coaching where I was coaching people on sales and customer service and doing some facilitation, really identifying what was driving people's behavior. Why are people and employees acting the way they're acting? For me, I was so interested in the personal nature. Why are people showing up at work and not showing up at work?
But I got frustrated with being able to only coach within the parameters of what that company needed. And I could see where I could help people so much more if I had more freedom. So I went and I took the Adler School coaching program, and I left the corporate world and started my own practice.
And when I had the freedom to coach people off the topic of work, that lit the fire in me.
The relationship piece came in after I met my husband, Jeff, love of my life. And through our personal struggles, recognizing how much is lacking in our understanding and how to function in a healthy relationship.
We got training in Imago relationship therapy, and we got certified as facilitators.
And then we really started to focus our attention not just on life coaching, but the relational piece within life coaching as well.
I loved couples coaching so much that I got training in the Gottman Institute. And so I have my level 2 training in Gottman marriage therapy.
Here we are today, over 2 decades later. First of all, I think that's such an important question because I think every coach brings something different from their own personal journey. And that makes us more effective in how we help certain people.
Growing up in a household where I knew my parents' relationship wasn't good. I could feel the divide living in the household, and just the energy. I could feel it. I could sense the offness, the one-sided dynamic of my parents' power struggles.
For me, it's really, I can think of 2 pivotal moments in my life. One from my childhood going back, there was, and I get emotional talking about it because there was some deep struggles that happened with my parents and in our family. But I say that as it's also what clearly guided me to where we are today. I saw my parents struggling with mental health issues. I saw the impact it had on me and my brothers.
Moving into adulthood and lacking the skills, not being modeled what goes into making a healthy relationship, desperately wanting connection with others, but not sure how to do it correctly. I think I just crave safety and connection.
And I was so motivated to understand human behavior better, impact mental health, and find a way, though I wanted more of an active and practical application to helping.
I started therapy when I was 25, and I've had the same therapist my whole life. I now have more of my life in therapy than life without therapy, which I'm really proud of.
So that's part 1. And then part 2 came in my relationship with Jeff. Here I was so connected, so in love, and yet so unskilled and unable to nurture this relationship that I was so happy in. Our own struggles were really tearing the relationship apart. By the time I met Jeff in my life and all the relationship struggles I'd had before that, I knew where we were heading.
Just questioning why do people stay together?
Nowhere in our upbringing or in the conversations we had with our friends, or in what I was having modeled to me. That struggle and that personal journey to figuring out, what does it take to be in a relationship that feels healthy, happy, and has the ability to last?
It was self-motivated. Our relationship was really about, how do we have a happy home?
Because shortly into our relationship, we had our son. And so now there are other eyes on us, but also being impacted.
And so we had a little child looking up at us amongst the drama in our household. And that was the wake-up call to know the way we're engaging in our relationship is not working. Here we are, we're a young family, we're not going anywhere. We both agreed that's not on the table for us. So that was the driving force behind, like, we have to figure this out.
My personal journey with Jeff and our relationship, and then add on a child, this desire to show up well for my child as a parent and that relationship, and the desire to show up well in my marriage and that relationship, I was struggling. I didn't want to admit it for a while. I wanted to believe that I knew all, I could figure this out. Look what I did for a living. I felt like I should know the answers to this. So it took longer than I wish it did.
I think we both see the same thing about relationships, that relationships should not be rocket science. They can't be rocket science. It can't be for the reserved 3 or 4 people on the planet to understand how to create happy relationships. And so the big change came, I think for me, the big change was being open to having outside help.
So that led us to actually find Imago. And that changed everything, because it was also a way for Jeff and I to go out and get help from a third party, because we used to argue about even how to argue and what philosophy we should follow. And just the exercise of surrendering to both learning and learning a way and an approach we didn't know was helpful. But then Imago was really impactful. That's why we ended up getting certified in it. We loved it so much. The success story of finding the connection and being able to step into repair. It was actually even stepping into anger, not my own, but Jeff's. I had trouble showing up to that, and learning how to do that just made room for whatever emotion was in our house to be seen and heard and dealt with.
For me, I learned a whole new way to see life. The move from an individual mindset to a team, a we approach.
And so we became a higher functioning household, but it was that journey, and then seeing how applicable, like relationship science in essence, everything we do, everything we come into contact with, from all our relationships, even relationships to things, to food, to money, I put on this relational lens that I now see life through, and that philosophy changed my life. Well, quite selfishly to start, because I want to live in a world where we have more joyful people, because joyful people don't hurt people. Joyful people don't shoot people, don't manipulate people, don't try to overpower people. Joyful people share. Joyful people are okay to co-create. They're okay with difference. Joyful people want to figure things out. They want to repair. They want to learn. They want to get better. They want to keep evolving. So selfishly, I want to live in a world where we have more joyful people.
I think our end clients really are children. We don't work with children, but I think that's our end clients. I think for Elle and I, we both know from our own childhood, the pain, the passing down of the chain of pain, the generational guilt, the outdated approaches to life and relationships. We felt the pain growing up in our own homes, and we've talked a lot about that we want to stop it here. We don't want that continuing on for the next generations. And so we believe that the best way we can do that, and to propagating this in the world, is starting with adults. I think having strong individuals so that we can have strong relationships, so people can partner better, and then ultimately parent better, so that we have really good role models for the next generation looking up at healthy parents.
And the other thing is watching people in pain is tough. It's painful to watch pain. And to know that there's a way out of that pain, and to see people in pain, in their relational pain, which to me is the worst kind of pain there is. And then to see people suffering in that pain when I know they don't have to be anymore.
So balancing out the power struggle between two people, getting people away from polarization, coming towards center, like how do you and I work together to make this co-creative relationship valuable and beneficial, not just for you and I, but any of the other young eyes looking at us, because they're learning from us.
This is one I know we can fix. If you like this video, hit subscribe. We drop weekly videos where we share more life, more joy, and more relationship advice.
And make sure to check out this next video to learn more.
Thanks for watching.